You're watching Chaotic TV.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Chaotic TV. We are in the Ace match between MouseSports Quantic Gaming for the first match of week 1 of the Acer TeamStory Cup. Yay, I got it right. We now have the wild card for MouseSports playing against the wild card for Quantic Gaming in their second rematch. It is the red Protoss in the bottom left, MaNa.
And flying across from him, Daybreak, the Blue Zerg player in this match. It will be Quantic's Hyun.
That's right. We're on Daybreak, one of the oldest maps. RAP apparently was dropped. Thanks, says Nino. We're going to see another
There's
ZVP.
A couple of observers are apparently lagging.
Not surprising, in every online tourney there's always going to be some issues somewhere. Very early probe for MaNa. Is he going to do something crazy? Or is he just going to block a hatch first?
Yeah, he's just scouting after he drops his 9 pylon. It's kind of normal.
Oh, I guess it wasn't all that early.
So we'll have our this best of 9 between Quantic and MouseSports is effectively now a best of 3 between MaNa and Hyun.
Oh, so is this series is tied 4-4 technically, but these guys are at 1-1. With MaNa taking Nail Planet S pretty convincingly after doing some very effective early pressure, and Hyun doing some very, very great eco-style damage to MaNa on Newkirk Precinct. We're going to see the hatch block right now, with a forge coming down back home for MaNa, as is normal. Oh, even a pylon block this time, not just getting out of the way and having the hatch go down. Is this drone, is he going to get pylon block too? We'll have to watch this little mini battle.
Yes. And here we see the value of the spawning pool first in the ZVP build.
I'm curious as to what these players use for their patrol button, because P is so freaking far across the map and the grid system just sucks.
I didn't actually see if it was a patrol, if they were just circles queued up.
No, it's a patrol.
There's a patrol.
Yep, and he finally gets it
They
down because the probe couldn't take any more hits.
Or should they have them remapped?
Photon cannon coming down before the gateway. Sorry, Mike.
Probe's gonna go up and take a peek into the main and get a look. Oh, he's just gonna hide.
Is he gonna be able to do another proxy pylon like he did on Newkirk Precinct?
Possibly.
If he hides in a different spot for.
It's not a super great hiding spot.
No, and the Overlord, some Overlord at some point would probably be able to find him.
Spotted by the Queen there, and he just takes a look in to see if there's any gas or not. Doesn't see any, goes on his way.
If he hid in the right here in the top, in the right side of the main base, where we've seen probes hide before, and put down a pylon, he could warp in at least 2 rounds before the creep saw him. But that is not the case at this point. We have 3 hatches and the standard Forge Fast Expand coming out of MaNa. I really like MaNa's goofy play, like he did against the Terrans, with this proxy Stargate into triple Oracle, and then of course the magic GG apparently that Oracles give you when you have 3 of them and you micro them properly.
And here you see what happens when you don't get a wall up tight. Those 4 Zerglings get in and you have to poke them with probes until they die. Oh, we got a probe kill.
He did. He even got a gas probe. It's going to delay whatever MaNa wants to do just a little bit, but he is afraid to put anything down. Not that he has the resources to, because this Zergling will see whatever he decides to put down.
He'll have about 8 gas less than he normally would.
Right. And putting that photon cannon where he did probably didn't help his, protection either. He knows that pylon in the back of the base isn't just there for drops, it's there to put down a piece of tech.
Yeah. Or also photon cannons if the mutalisk attacks start coming in.
If we see mutas out of Hyun, I'll be very happy, but from all the games I've seen of Hyun in GSL and in these games so far, he seems a big fan of the Roach Hydra.
Yeah. And MaNa doesn't seem too sad about a Zergling running around seeing everything he does. Also, the Overlord is natural, so Since he hasn't chosen a tech path yet, that's
He
not
is
that big a deal.
Stargating right now, and if this Zergling sees it, he might just cancel. It is going to see the Stargate, and now that Zergling has done all it needs to be, and the Swarm no longer needs it, but if it stays alive, then yay for it. The Stargate has not been cancelled yet. He wants to keep that Zergling alive long enough so that he can't cancel the Stargate and switch techs on him. Although with the metagame, the mind games, excuse me, that happened during the middle of these high level matches, he could just keep the Stargate going or cancel the Stargate and then build another one just to freak out Hyun. But what do you think? Phoenix is coming out?
Or he could just continue making the Stargate and make an Oracle out of it.
He could. Oh, he's going for an Oracle. That cross-map Oracle is a bit interesting, but he might use it for reveal.
He'll probably bank up 3 of them before he moves out.
That's very true.
We don't see any kind of a Spore Crawler response yet. I mean, obviously, it would take a little bit for him to get across the map. And build, for that matter.
Macro Hatch and
Oracle
4 gas is
and
going
Phoenix. So he's got that Phoenix there to help protect it.
Yep, and to clean up all the Overlords along the map, which there are 3 out on the map, one of them which could probably be pulled back into the main base of Hyun.
And there's also one in the very bottom left corner waiting to wander back into.
Oh, would you look at that?
It's me.
Overseer incoming. And it's already got a queued path, and it's going to be able to see all 3 gateways coming down, and the robotics facility. Very, very good path planning for Hyun. There's only so much space in a base. And we have a Hydra Den coming down. Double Evo just started their missile and carapace attacks, and speedlings are about to finish just in
And
time
this is
to
a flying
do
attack
nothing
on
against
the
the
third.
flying. 2 Spore Crawlers incoming. This Oracle's already got 2 kills, 3 kills, and lifting up the Queen is all well and good, but there's really nothing to shoot at it. It's just doing that to keep the Queen away from shooting the Oracle, so that the Oracle can spend its energy on something a little more damaging, like drones. But now the Spore Crawlers are inbound and they are completed, so all of this aggression is probably going to be cleaned up at least at the 3rd very soon. Spore Crawlers going down in the natural and not in the main yet, though. Overseer is probably going to get taken out.
Mothership Core taking out a bunch of Zerglings here, as they're just idle, sitting there, running away on their own.
First Hydras are out on the map. They're going to be able to push away this Stargate play. But we are seeing a tech switch out of MaNa, and he's going to go into Colossus play. And I really need to learn to speak, but this is the ninth game of this series, and I'll have to be cutting all this up afterwards.
That's a pretty serious line of pylons he's got going there.
That is the opposite of an Artosis pylon. That's more pylons than there are gateways. That's amazing. He really doesn't want to be supply blocked, but he's pretty close to being supply blocked anyway. He does need to get that 3rd Nexus down, but there is a Zergling that's going to see that he's putting it out, and Zerglings and Hydras coming across the map. The Hydras do not yet have the speed, the muscular augments, that's what they're called.
Overseer spots the robotics base, so he's going to know that Hydralis or Colossus are coming out.
And Observer is following the entire army right now. So he's going to know when they're coming into attack, or where they're going to attack, which is the more important thing for when you're positioning a Protoss army.
Also, he doesn't have any Colossus out just yet. The first one's going to come out. Well, that attack's not happening just yet, so.
Nope. 25 seconds to the first Colossus, and 120 seconds in game. That's 2 minutes for the extended thermal lance. So these Hydras are going to have the opportunity to get in there and snipe that Colossus. But now that they've sniped the Observer, MaNa is going to have a little bit of trouble predicting where this is going to happen, but he's just guessing that it's going to happen at the 3rd. That's actually a good guess, and now he's probably going to just sack that 3rd after he puts down some very decent force fields. Huge force fields against Hydras. They can't go anywhere, obviously, and they are very susceptible to these Zealot attacks when they can't move and micro back.
Yep, Hydralis are even slower when there's force fields behind them.
Enough said, Mike. Enough said. Hallucinated Phoenix being able to see the positioning, and they're going to clean up this debris so that it takes more than just 2 force fields to lock in a group of units from the Zerg.
Actually, with Chrono Boost, that extended thermal lances is finishing a little bit earlier than 2 minutes. We'll be about done here if that army doubles around to attack again.
But it looks like he's going to go home and just create a couple of Corruptors. Do you think he's going to move into Broodlord soon, or is he going to stick with this Circling Hydra mix and maybe even throw in a couple of Roaches?
I don't think he's gonna go to Broodlords. He's
Really?
a little
He's
ways
getting
away
an
from.
Infestation Pit. Is he going to go Swarm Hosts?
He'll probably go Hives, but I don't think he'll go Broodlord.
Huh.
Not against the
Interesting.
number of Phoenixes on the field.
Well, then I have to say this is the
Maybe-
first time I've seen a Hydralisk heavy.
Maybe if he kills them before Hive is finished, the Greater Spire, then he won't have a use for their Colossus or their Swarm Host right there, and Enduring Locusts.
Very awesome. Love Swarm Host play. It's going to be the first time we've seen it in this series. Hyun pulling out something different against his now third-time opponent.
We'll see if he couples it with the Nidus, like Snoot did in the WCS qualifiers.
That would actually be pretty awesome. Snoot did pretty well in WCS. He did not make it to Korea, if I'm not mistaken, but we see a hallucinated Colossi awaiting an attack
Now we
from...
see MaNa's going for Protoss Shields level 1 since he has no Twilight Council just yet to get +2.
Putting it down as you say that.
Pretty good creep spread coming across the map for Hyun too.
Yep, keeping that queen up front is probably the quickest way to do that creep spread. He's got all three avenues pretty well creeped up, although he does need to creep the northern one a little bit better. The changelings are moving in for Hyun so that he can see where MaNa is going with his tech pack. But they get spotted.
What I would like to see with this attack is a little bit more queens, but he does have plenty of corruptors to deal with the air, so.
Yeah. If he takes out the rocks in the middle, we're going to see something... damn, I can't remember who played that. It wasn't Todd. It was Grubby. No, it wasn't Grubby. Anyway, it was a PVZ in the exact same position. Zerg on the... Oh, Stefano against somebody. Throwing a ton of locusts through the middle at the fourth base of the Protoss. And Protoss, in this case, didn't have a fifth base building.
Hyun just left these swarm hosts kind of exposed, but his army swoops in to protect them at the last minute.
I don't think he's got them hotkeyed correctly because he doesn't know that two of them are just hanging out there gonna get picked off without being burrowed. He's gonna have to jump up to a serious amount of these swarm hosts before the
there's 6
Colossi
more on
won't be able to kill off the locusts.
And he's starting to get spine crawlers up around for static defense.
That's
Protect
always a
against
good idea.
Protect against the Overseer, not Overseer, Warp Prism drops. More Stargates coming out for MaNa, and another Spire coming in for Hyun. I don't know if he just wants double upgrades, or if he forgot he had a Spire, or what.
That's a great reveal on those Corruptors, but if he goes into a decent amount of Void Rays, even these Corruptors won't be able to attack them very well, especially with that. If he's able to bait out the charge on the Void Rays and then go back in for an attack, then Corruptors win. But if they are against that plus 20 damage to armor or whatever it is, plus 8 damage to armor every second, then the Corruptors are just going to die very quickly, and these Colossi are getting a couple thousand kills on Locusts as we wait for that Void Ray count to really creep up into the dangerous level.
Looks like he is planning on transitioning to Broodlord because he has this Spire timed out to come up for Greater Spire as soon as the lair happens and the other one upgrading. Or Hive, sorry, not lair.
Hyun not doing the greatest at keeping all his locusts timed together. He needs to unburrow his swarm hosts long enough for their backs to fill up locusts and then reburrow.
He's still picking off a few stalkers here and there.
Yep.
Well, it's doing damage. Free damage, essentially. Locust costs nothing but time.
Yeah. All I'm saying is he could do a little bit better at the damage, but he has stopped his swarm host production at a point when he saw the Void Ray switch.
At the point when he was maxed.
Yeah, pretty much. If MaNa had continued to build Colossi only and not switched into Void Rays, there's the charge, the overcharge on those Void Rays, and the Phoenix and Oracles get sniped right away.
He does. Oh, he's gonna back off and let the Locust tank all the damage.
Pretty much.
Push this army back with each wave.
That little skirmish was definitely in Hyun's favor, as he didn't lose any supply except maybe one corruptor max. MaNa was dropped down 15 supply down to 185 at that point.
Here we see remaxing on drones. I'm sure these are just going to go into static defense.
He's got the bank for it. Look at what we're seeing here: 500, 600 versus 3,500, 2,900.
That said, this is a 4-basing Protoss.
Yeah.
No, 5. How his main is mined out.
He's getting the gas he needs off these.
His naturals also
wouldn't
mined
really
out.
wouldn't really hurt him to lose one of these bases for the minerals, but the gas that he needs is definitely what these 5 bases. Oh, look at that forward spore crawler building. Get taken out right away, but on the high ground they are continuing to be built right in the midst of all of these swim hosts.
Corruptors are just darting in and shooting off a couple volleys and getting out.
Yep, and they're putting a bit of corruption down on the forward stalkers and on those void rays, but now they have to run away from the charge.
Damage is getting really close to these storm hosts. Let's see if he backs off or just holds his ground. So he's going to try to hold his ground here.
And the void rays are taking out all the swarm hosts they can. 23 infestors coming in to take out those void rays. One of the best ways to deal with perhaps one of the most clumped up units in the game, aside from mutalisks themselves, is void rays with fungal. And 23 infestors is more than enough fungals to take out that. Oh, one of those infestors is going to get taken off cheap without even getting a shot off. I don't know why it was hotkeeping that main army, and I really need to work on controlling my mouse, because it's camera is flying all over the place. But now we have MaNa moving in on a lesser supplied Hyun as he waits with those infestors to get them a little bit more energy to take out this base.
That was a really good fight for MaNa there. He lost almost nothing in that attack. The Void Rays took out all this stuff so quickly.
Yep, great fungals coming in for Hyun, but the bank advantage has switched into MaNa's favor. Fungals are continuing to go down, but these infestors are alone. They do not have the backup they need to really do it. Look at infested Terrans coming out all over the place, and we're not going to see any bank assistance on the Zerg side. Now he's continuing to lose so much supply. Look at that, 137 to 71. This is just ridiculous. And he's able to clean it all up, but it won't take long for MaNa to remax with a different set of units. Just enough. Even if you went into the main base and focused down some of that tech, or even just the overlords, he could really hamper. Oh, DTs even. Ooh, that is a great one. I'm surprised I'm surprised there's no fungal going down to lock this DT off. But is it taking out a queen? It's got 19 kills on it. How many freaking drones have died?
That's where a lot of that supply went during that fight.
Okay, that's very true. 35 drones have been killed, and MaNa is just taking a bigger and bigger and bigger advantage. He's about to double the supply of his Zerg opponent. The 5th base has not been rebuilt for Hyun. Thank you for mouse over tooltips. And Hyun would actually do pretty well at building his 5th base in the top noon position as opposed to that bottom right 5 o'clock position. If he built both, I'd be really happy, because MaNa would be basically forced to take out that noon position before he moved on any other position.
Yeah, I think that big engagement, the first one we saw where all the Swarmhosts died, I think that's why we're seeing more Queen play with the Swarmhosts instead of Corruptors. They're just better tanks for the damage, and they have transfuse. And enough Queens definitely takes down Colossus very quickly.
Yep, and they're also armored, so they don't, or they're not armored. They're just biological.
And they have 7 range, so that's very good for fighting Colossus.
Very good. And now we have Hyun trying to do this infestor play again, but these DTs are just being absolute nuisances. And this one Hydra has got to take out that DT that did serious damage to that hatchery before being taken out. And now we have a push from MaNa coming across the middle of the map just with those Void Rays. Trying to take out what he can, just clean up a little bit of creep. And some decent static defense for MaNa at his home bases. He's just turtling up a little bit, and he's going to push out with this brand new 200 army in the death ball formation. It looks so small when you look at the surface area of the army, but it's so powerful. Look at all those High Templar, Void Rays, and 2 Archons just to do some extra pain damage.
Also, these Void Rays are about to be 3 attack Void Rays, so that's really good.
Oh my
He already has
goodness.
3 attack for his ground army, 1 shields for both of them, but he's done very well in upgrading his air weapons.
I think MouseSports MaNa is looking very good to take this game. Look, the bank he's got, the push he's coming out with, and the supply lead he's got right now against the...
Hyun just doesn't have a good answer for this army composition.
Nope. If he brings in all those infestors, he's going to get feedbacked all over the place by the Templar. Templar moving forward just to throw down some defensive storms and to take out all the drones in that 4th base mineral line. Good God. Storms continuing to go down, taking out even Brood Lords, and the supply continues to dip for the Zerg player from Quantic Gaming.
Honestly, Zerg Brace doesn't have a good answer for that army composition.
No, it really doesn't. Not even Ultras. Swarm hosts, no. This is kind of one of those timer situations where you really just don't want to let the Protoss get to there.
That's strong.
Yep.
I mean, these
Mass
infestors are doing
carriers.
good work against these air units, but
I think we're approaching the end.
Stuff.
There's just not any more bases for Hyun, and there it is, the GG. MaNa coming back as the wildcard player, taking out the wildcard return of Hyun and winning their personal best of 3 2-1 and leading MouseSports to a 5-4 win over Quantic Gaming. Our first match of the first week of group stage for Acer's TeamStory Cup is complete. MouseSports taking the win, and that's going to be it for Chaotic TV for tonight. I am KO.
and this is Eclipse.
Thank you guys very much for watching. I have had a lot of fun casting again, and you are damn sure going to see some more of this. Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Cheers.